Hey, how's it going, guys? We're back with another one. Here we got a 89 Toyota pickup 3.0. It's kind of popular still, and I have a quick video for you guys. This is how we change the fuel pump here. We take off the bolts for the bed on one side, and we're able to tilt it up and slide that fuel pump out of that tank here. See, we use some pieces of wood to hold it up there to secure it. And then here we got the old pump. We're taking it off. Since they don't sell the whole assembly, which I prefer to change, we have to go in there and take it apart, take the little pump off, and change the little components that comes with it. It has all these little small pieces. So you slide it out, you pop it out, and then you take off this crusty, molded fucking hose that's been there for like thousands of years. You just take out that rubber seat, come with the new one. And that's the old pump right there. It has the old strainer. And it just gave out. It gave us a lot of problems. I can tell you, we were trying to figure out what's going on, because sometimes it'll have pressure, sometimes it didn't, and we're just trying to figure out. And that's the new one right there. We're gonna slide out that new hose. It comes with it. That's how it looks. There's two different types. I'll show you the packaging for the one it has, but you have to make sure you either have the fatter pump or the thinner pump. In this case, this one had the thicker one. Had the fat boy. And see, we put the new grips, the new. I killed my dog wants food. So let me go see what's going on with my dog. Oh, we're gonna take that out. Here we're sliding in we slide in the second one. As you'll see why we do that, because once we put it on there, you don't want to forget. And this is the new strainer. Watch out with this little piece in there. It's just like a, look at that, like a piece of a watch or something. Yep, there it is. That's the new one. So you tap this new strainer in there. Make sure you take out the plastic tip that it goes in there, see through, so it doesn't go in there. And that's where you want to tap it in, nice and flush. Even though you think it's in there, you might have to tap it more. And that little guide pin goes in that hole. That's why you want to line it up, and then you're gonna tap it in, and then make sure it's all the way in there. As you see, it takes some takes some work in there, and then this thing has to sit in there to hold it. So you want to get a small little socket, like an 8, and then just tap it in there. And that's it. When you're done, put on the new plastic that comes with it. It might not sit as flush, but you gotta make sure it sits as perfect as possible in there. So now that you have that second clip in there too, you can just slide it in there, and then just measure it to that distance where that could sit properly. You want to make sure that has some kind of pressure down there. So that's why we pull it back down, and then you put that second retainer back in there. You want to make sure it's at the right place, and then we put all the little bolts back on. They don't come in the new one, so make sure you don't lose the original ones. And they have a washer and a nut, so you gotta make sure you put that washer back in there to keep that pressure on that connection. So make sure you keep it all the old German torque down. Good and tight. Make sure you put that washer with that bolt on the other side. And as you can see, we left that old retainer in there by accident, but we just cut it out. So don't worry about that. Make sure you tie it up. Don't over tie it. Just right on it. Make sure those wires are nice and not brittle, because if they are, you will have to change it. We couldn't find a seal replacement for this car here, and the customer needed it back the same day, so we used the old technique of putting grease on the old rubber seals, and this kind of helps it, kind of gives it like that. It revives it, kind of like the cream for the old ladies in the commercials. You know how they promise to turn you younger and stuff, something like that. But let's see here. And then this thing does have a position, you want to make sure you kind of dive it in there and then bit to the left. Here, we were having just a little trouble putting it in there, but you just dip it in there to the left, just kind of rotate it in there. You could tell because it won't really let you in unless you got it on that right shape. So as you can see there, we just, you know, boom, there it goes on the side. So don't try to fight it, you know, just make sure it sits down properly. And then it has these little 8mm bolts, and you make sure you align them right. You want to put them in by hand first, all of them. Believe me, you don't want to get the thread messed up or anything like that, because that'll be a bitch. But once you get them all by hand, then you could start slowly bringing them down little by little. Yeah, believe me, you are gonna get you're gonna get a cramp on your fingers trying to put this shit in. They're so small. Then you put them in by hand like that. Make sure you had no resistance whatsoever. You don't want to mess up the thread. And then once you get them flush, you can start using your ratchet. Note where we're putting our fingers on this ratchet, we don't want to give it like all the leverage, so you just hold it by the head, so you could just get that that nice feel for that bolt to see how much you're tying it up, because they can pop, I mean, you know. So make sure you get all your connectors back on, you line it up with the guide, click it on there, and then put your lines for the fuel pump. You want to make sure you do it as gentle as possible. These things are brittle, especially, you know, because of the year. We're using the whole weight of that, just the tail weight of the ratchet, just to tie it up. That's how you know. So just make sure you guys don't over tie it, but you do want to make sure it seals properly, so just enough. And this line, this fuel line here, you gotta make sure you tie it up evenly when you're installing it, because you don't want to mess up that thread. Give it a nice little jiggle, make sure you do it by hand, hold the back one, and you know, tie it with the front one, just like so. And then right here, what you want to do, we just opened the fuel rail bolt just to make sure the gas was coming up, because it was, and then it wasn't, and this is how we found out that this fuel pump was bad. So right there, it's all done. The car turned on like a champ, man. Look at, damn, man. And then we just put some zip ties on his wires just to kind of keep it a little neat, since he had it all over the place. If you don't like it, please subscribe.